Hey everybody, and welcome to BingeBot. Today we're counting down our picks for the best TV shows of 2025. For this list, we've decided to focus purely on new stuff, including shows that aired their first season this year. That means shows like Severance Season 2 and Stranger Things Season 5 are off the table, mostly in an effort to highlight the best shows that debuted in 2025. As always, be sure to drop us a comment and let us know what your favorite new show was this year. With that said, here are our picks for the best TV shows of 2025, starting with number 10, Murderbot. Based on the book series by Martha Wells, Murderbot is a sci-fi action comedy with a unique plot that, despite its futuristic vibes, feels pretty timely for our modern age. At the center of the show is the titular Murderbot, a rogue cyborg/organic security robot that erases its programming and tries to figure out the meaning behind its very existence. Though Murderbot was designed with combat in mind, it's far more interested in the nuances of humanity and with watching soap opera television. Thanks to a layered performance from Alexander Skarsgård as Murderbot, along with some great action sequences and effective comedy, this show offers enough variety to please all types of viewers, but it maintains an intriguing sci-fi vibe throughout.
The creature had a really big mouth. Luckily, I had a really big gun.
While some of the subplots leave a bit to be desired and the episodes are slightly short, Murderbot is still an entertaining show for both book fans and newcomers, and with 5 more books ready to adapt, hopefully it'll stick around for some time. Number 9, It, Welcome to Derry. Based on Stephen King's novel, the It and It Chapter 2 movies made ridiculous amounts of money upon release, so when HBO announced that they were creating a spin-off prequel, it wasn't that big of a surprise. Instead, what's surprising about It Welcome to Derry is how well it nails the dark and grotesque nature of the source material while painting the town of Derry, Maine as an odd slice of suburbia where nothing is as it seems. With an endearing cast of fresh-faced kids eager to discover the truth, and probably Pennywise the Clown along the way, It Welcome to Derry rekindles the same haunted house-style horror that made the films so popular, but it still manages to shock and surprise along the way. While not every episode is a hit, and some shoddy visual effects crop up from time to time, It Welcome to Derry is an inventive and entertaining horror tale, just as long as you don't take things too seriously. Number 8, Paradise. Blending the genres of political thriller, post-apocalyptic drama, and mystery comes Paradise, a comfy and surprisingly complex show that caught our attention in 2025. This intriguing thriller follows Xavier Collins, a Secret Service agent and the head of the president's security team. When Xavier discovers the president lying in a pool of his own blood, everything goes sideways, and Xavier is left to discover the truth as he slowly becomes the prime suspect. To make things even more interesting, this whole debacle takes place in a secret bunker inside of a mountain where thousands of people live their lives in relative safety as the world outside has become uninhabitable. What starts as a simple mystery quickly sprawls into countless directions, leading to a rewarding watch despite a few bumps in the pacing. Number 7, Daredevil Born Again. After Netflix's Daredevil show was canned in 2018, fans were pleading for the return of the blind, masked vigilante, and that's exactly what Daredevil Born Again provided in spades. Loosely continuing where the Netflix show left off, Born Again sees Matt Murdock hopping back into the Daredevil suit for another romp around Hell's Kitchen, New York, after his nemesis Wilson Fisk finds a new seat of power.
I'm going to be mayor of this town. And when I am, I will not tolerate people running around in silly costumes.
Though tied to the ever-expanding MCU, Born Again exists neatly in its own bubble, making it an entertaining superhero binge, even if you've grown weary with Marvel fatigue. Thanks to a strong cast, including Jon Bernthal as the Punisher, Born Again did justice to the canceled Netflix project, even if it was a bit Disney-fied by comparison. Number 6, Mobland. In Mobland, you've got 2 British crime families warring for dominance, and stuck in the middle is Harry D'Souza, a fixer who does his best to quell the rising tension. This crime drama focuses on the Harrigans and the Stevensons, 2 prominent families with a ton of money on the line and a legacy to lose. When tragedy befalls the Stevensons and all fingers point to the Harrigans, Harry D'Souza must bridge the gap to prevent utter pandemonium on the streets of London. With substantial star power in the form of Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, and more, Mobland offers a dark and thrilling story ripe with shocking violence and high stakes. Though a bit by the numbers, Mobland is a satisfying dose of crime drama that was ahead above the rest in 2025. Number 5. Dexter Resurrection. Somewhere in the later seasons of Dexter and the spin-offs that followed it, it feels like the showrunners really just lost the plot and forgot why audiences liked the story in the first place. Enter Dexter Resurrection, a new show that does its best to ignore the narrative leaps of the spin-offs before it, and it gets back to basics with America's favorite fictional killer. Set after the events of Dexter New Blood, Resurrection sees Dexter Morgan traveling to New York City, where he must track down his son Harrison while keeping his inner Bay Harbor butcher at bay.
I'm Dexter Morgan.
Who's that?
The Bay Harbor butcher.
Despite this seemingly constant need to make Harrison the center of every story, Dexter Resurrection excels by getting back to the stuff that made the original series succeed, watching Dexter work only as he can, hunting down unsavory characters that can only rest once they've lain on his signature table. With a great supporting cast, including the likes of Peter Dinklage, Uma Thurman, David Dastmalchian, and more, Resurrection does its best to not get lost in the weeds and instead puts Dexter in his element once again and lets the audience enjoy the proverbial fireworks. Number 4. Pluribus. After Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, showrunner Vince Gilligan could have just retired and rested easy, but instead, he whipped up one of the most anticipated shows of 2025, Pluribus. Set in Albuquerque, New Mexico, of course, Pluribus is a quirky dark comedy and mystery which follows romance author Carol Sturka, played by Ray Seahorn. After a mysterious affliction throws the world into chaos, Carol learns that humanity has succumbed to a happy hive mind virus of sorts, though she and a dozen other humans are immune. Left as one of the last normal people on planet Earth, she attempts to make some sense of this madness existing in a post-apocalyptic world where she and the other survivors have far more power than they expected. Inspired by the 1978 movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Pluribus is weird, funny, unsettling, and most importantly, engrossing. At the time of this video posting, Pluribus has yet to wrap up its first season, and as such, it's hard to place it in the top 3, but with any luck, this show will keep up its hot streak and continue to enthrall viewers throughout its debut season and well into the future. Number 3. The Studio. Perhaps it's our love for effective meta-humor or the allure of Hollywood and filmmaking in general, but there's something truly special about The Studio. Created in part and starring Seth Rogen, The Studio focuses on Matt Remick, the new head of a major movie studio who struggles with the battle between making money and making art. Echoing the same sentiment of most modern audiences, Matt pines for the glory days of cinema, when movies were created out of artistry and not for an easy paycheck. However, all of the good intentions in the world can't make up for Matt's blundering nature, as he has a habit of creating countless issues in his quest to bring cinema back to life. While we love the witty satire, hilarious writing, and countless celebrity cameos, the studio sets itself apart with truly fantastic editing, cinematography, and direction, elevating the already great script and cast. Whether it's Episode 2, The Oneer, which examines directors' fascination with one-take shots, while in itself being a one-take episode, or Episode 4, The Missing Reel, which is basically a self-contained noir-style mystery, the studio uses its various episodes to evoke unique tones and tell varied stories while remaining consistently funny and charming. The Studio is a comedy that's much more than just a comedy. It's a true labor of love with a whole lot of heart, and after just one episode, you'll likely be locked in for a full season binge. Number 2. The Pit. Set in a fictional trauma center in Pittsburgh, The Pit gives us a look at the brutal, unrelenting lives of healthcare workers on the front line. Thrown headfirst into a world of abbreviations and life or death stakes, this show follows senior doctor Micah Rabinovich, aka Dr. Robbie, as he and his team do their best to handle a seemingly endless line of patients. In a workplace where one mistake can spell the end of an innocent life, Dr. Robbie and the rest of the pit crew are pushed to their limit by anxiety and stress, but are barely able to take a breath lest they fall further behind. Exceptionally realistic and fast-paced, the pit can be an exhausting watch at times, as each hour-long episode plays out in real time, with the 15-episode season encompassing just one workday at the hospital. At the risk of sounding kind of derivative, the pit evokes the same constant anxiety as the popular drama The Bear, but with much, much higher stakes. Though it occasionally errs on the side of melodrama, the pit is an unflinching examination of emergency medicine, and it grabbed our attention from the very first episode to the bitter end, making it one of the best new TV shows of 2025 by a substantial margin. Number 1. Alien Earth. In space, no one can hear you scream, but on Earth, they definitely can, especially when there's a frickin' xenomorph running around, and that's basically the premise of Alien Earth, the spin-off show based on the Alien film franchise, even though the show takes place before the original movie and in an alternate timeline. Set in 2120, this show sees Earth under the control of several megacorporations, mostly fighting in a race to discover the best path towards immortality, be it synthetic life, advanced biological augmentation, or a mixture of the two. However, when a Weyland-Yutani research vessel containing a xenomorph crash lands right here on our home planet, everything takes a turn for the worst. Generally speaking, if you're a fan of the Alien movies, specifically the first couple, Alien Earth packs all of the terrifying, thought-provoking science fiction that you could want into its 8 episodes. Episode 5 in particular is a stunning piece of television, as this self-contained tale of sci-fi horror brilliantly pays homage to the original film. For fans of the Alien franchise, or just sci-fi in general, Alien Earth is a jaw-dropping good time, and it comfortably sits at the top of our list for the best new TV shows of 2025.